Okay, today in lab we're going to be looking at our retic stains. So instead of the purple slides, you're going to be looking at the blue-green slides, okay? That stain that we use to enumerate our retics is called a supravital stain. And it's going to specifically stain RNA. Okay, so that's what we're going to see. We're talking about reticulocytes. Okay, retics are teenage red cells. They're just not quite to the mature stage left. They have residual RNA left in them, and we can count them by using the supravital stain. Normal range on this is 0.5 to 1.5%. Okay, so not a whole lot. The supravital stain we're using in class is new methylene blue. There's a couple of other different versions, but we use new methylene blue. So the idea is you're all going to get a tally counter like this. They're up in the cabinet up there. And with your left hand, you're going to count, guess how many red cells? At least 1,000. Okay? At least 1,000.
I can't count that.
Yes, you can count that way. Okay. When you run across a retic, use your diff counter and count a retic. So, is a retic a red blood cell?
Potential.
Yes, yes. So it's going to go in our denominator here. So the formula ends up being the number of retics you see divided by the total number of RBCs you count times 100. Okay, and that gives us percent. Okay, give me 1 decimal point today. So here's an example here. If I saw 12 retics while I was counting 1,025 red cells, okay, so I divide 12 by 1025 and multiply it by 100, I get 1.2%. Okay? Am I in the normal range? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. In a few minutes we'll sit down at the scope and I'll show you Dorothy, okay, who was actually one of my students' grandmothers that went in the hospital. She had a lot of blood loss. Her retic count is about 20%, so it's awesome to look at. So we'll look at that together and I'll show you what a retic looks like. But when you look at them today, I want you to do 2, okay? 2 today. Raise your hand when you think you found a retic. Okay, so we're sure you're counting the right thing. There's some artifactual elements that you might think are retics, so I just want to make sure you're actually counting the correct thing. If it's shiny or metallic or refractile, it's not a retic. Okay, so don't count it as that. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do today on the remaining diffs that you have is we're going to do a platelet estimate. Anybody remember how a platelet estimate is done? No? Yeah, exactly. So you're going to take the average number of platelets you see in an oil immersion field. So that means you have to look at least 5 to 10 fields. Count the number of platelets you see. Okay. So say we got an average of 17 platelets per oil immersion field. If we multiply that by 15,000, we're going to get 17 times 15,000 equals 255. 255,000. Okay. Is that in the normal range? Yeah, because typically we see between 10 and 30 per oil immersion field. Okay. So I want this estimate to be plus or minus 20% of what's on the CBC printout. So if you look at this, okay, 270, okay, I got 255. Am I within range? Yeah. Yeah, okay. And you can use that platelet count as a guide to know if you're in the right good part of the smear, okay? We have a smear, nice blood smear, okay? Usually the best part of the slide is going to be that area right there. You don't want to be too far out to the feather edge because your to the smear. Okay. If you are, you're going to consistently get too high of a platelet estimate. Okay. So I know you've got to move back to this good area. This is also the area where you want to judge your RBC morphology when we start looking at abnormals. Okay? Yeah, David.
How many tables do I have to do?
I want you to do I want you to do a platelet estimate on all the diffs you do today. Okay, so it's going to vary. Some people may be close to being done. Other people may need more. But you got to do the platelet estimate on the practical. So just make sure you feel comfortable and you're getting good platelet estimates when you don't. Any other questions?